Hello, hello. So today I'm going to cover another variation of the single crochet. This one is called the moss stitch. So it's actually one of my favorite stitches. It works up really quickly. So if you're trying to get a project done in a certain time frame, this is what you should be using. It makes a really cute dishcloth. Here's an example. So this is what the moss stitch looks in a finished product. Here is another example. I'm just using a color changing yarn so that you can actually see the cool little texture it gives you for the moss stitch. So if you're using a solid colored yarn, it does the same thing. It's just, this is so that you can see just a little bit better and in more detail. So let's get started. So first we are going to start with a slip knot. And then we're going to chain 15. So there's my chain 15. So again, make sure it's an odd number. To make the edging nice, I always work into the back bar of the stitch. So just this bar here. I'll show you in a lighter color. So it's just the one bar versus working through one of the bars of the V. So for me, I always work in that back bar. That gives me a nice, even finished edge at the end. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to skip the first two chains. So we're not going to work into the first one and we're not going to work into the second one. Into this one here, we are going to work a single crochet chain one. Let me quickly show you. So insert your hook through that back bar, yarn over and pull up a loop. So there's 2 on your hook, and then yarn over and pull through 2. That's the single crochet, and then you're going to chain 1. So you don't have to do this, but if you're a beginner and it makes you feel more confident that you won't forget where the stitch is, I'd grab a stitch marker, and in this tiny little gap where your 2 chains that you skipped were, I just put a stitch marker because we're going to be working into it at the end and then you won't lose it. So again, not 100% necessary, but if it makes you feel better, you can definitely do that. So I've worked my single crochet in my chain 1. Now I'm going to skip my next bar or stitch, and in the next one I'm going to do the exact same thing. So I'm going to work a single crochet chain 1. So insert our hook if you can. Yarn over and pull up a loop. So there's 2 on our hook, yarn over and pull through 2. That's our single crochet, and then we're going to chain 1. And we're going to repeat that all the way across. So we're going to skip a stitch, insert our hook, work a single crochet, and chain 1. Skip a stitch, work into the next one. So this is what I'm talking about when I say that it works up relatively quickly, because it is just a variation of the single crochet. So you're really just doing the single crochet and the chain 1 all the way across the row. I will meet you up at the end to show you how to finish it off. Okay, so now I have 2 left. So I'm going to skip this one, and then into the last stitch, I'm just going to work 1 single crochet. So that is the end of row 1. You can see the chain spaces that were left by chaining 1. And that's really important because we're going to work that in our next rows. So row 1 is your beginning row. Going forward, row 2 and onward are just going to be the exact same row repeated. So make sure you pay attention here. We started off by chaining 2. And just like in the first row, I would recommend just right around that chain 2, placing a stitch marker, because when we come back around, you'll know exactly where you can put your last stitch. So we've chained 2, turn our work, and now you're just going to find your chain space. So there's a single crochet, and that's our chain space here. And we're going to work a single crochet, chain 1 in every chain space across. So again, insert your hook, pull up a loop. So there's 2 on our hook, yarn over and pull through 2. Chain 1, find your next chain space, insert your hook, work a single crochet and chain 1, and work that all the way across, and I will meet you at the end. Okay, so I've worked my last single crochet chain 1, and this is where the stitch marker is good. So you are going to finish off every single row with a single crochet into the chain space that you leave after your chain 2. So just insert your hook, work a single crochet, and then you can actually just take that stitch marker out. If you're confident, you don't have to use it. If you feel better, like I said, definitely do it. And then like I said, so chain 2 and you'll repeat row 2. So turn our work, we will find the chain space there and work single crochet, chain 1 all the way across. And that is the moss stitch. Like I said at the beginning, so easy, works up so quickly. If you can do the single crochet and you can chain, then you can do this stitch. And it does create just such a cute, almost like a knit look, so that they can see the stitches. And I think that's really, really, really cute. And I think that's why I use it so often. I'm also a very impatient crocheter, so projects that take a very long time just kind of irritate me. So if I can find a stitch that works up really quickly, I am all for that. Here it is again in a actual project. So you can see those beautiful stitches here. And that is the moss stitch.